My name's Kevin Grove, and I'm here to talk about why mountain adventure and why do we all do the things we do. I have two take-home points for my talk tonight. Yvonne Chouinard said, lead and examine life, and Jim Whittaker, the first American to climb Mount Everest, said, do something every day that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. That's why I'm here tonight. I grew up in Montana playing ball sports that fueled a competitive drive that I took into the mountains, and when I discovered climbing and backcountry skiing in Montana, and was heavily inspired and influenced by Hans Sari and Alex Lowe. I moved to Bend in the late 90s and bought a bunch of Lycra like many of you and became an endurance athlete and worked for a bunch of companies along the way to help fund my mountain adventures. The past 10 years I've been competing against myself, doing things like attempting the Grand Traverse, which is to climb 10 peaks in the Teton Range, the heart of the Teton Range. My goal was to do this under 24 hours. The first year I attempted this in 2008, I only climbed 3 peaks in 19 hours. I went back 2 years later with my buddy Brandon French from Kalispell, Montana, and succeeded at climbing 10 peaks in the Teton Range in 19 hours. A little bit closer to home, Mr. Free Range, Tosh Roy, and I set out in June 2011 to summit and ski between Mount Bachelor, Broken Top, South Sister, Middle Sister, all but the very top of North Sister. He went back a week later and did the entire thing, including the very top of North Sister. This summer, Max King and I attempted to set the record for running in between all 3 of these peaks, which is 12 hours and 47 minutes. We came up short of that record, but I imagine that one or both of us will be back to attempt this again. So what's your latest adventure? You're all Bendites, you all do wild things. Pole pedal paddle, reverse pole pedal paddle, paddling down Benham and Dillon Falls. Why do you do these things? Perhaps to find flow, described by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi in his book, Flow, Psychology of Optimal Experience, this bliss state that we find when we match high skills and high challenges. Everything else leaves us bored, apathetic, or anxious. Or perhaps it's to get this feeling of high that we get when we do mountain adventure, described by Doug Robinson in his book, Alchemy of Action. He talks about these hormones and neurotransmitters released in our brain when we combine exertion and effort and fear. Perhaps it's for the love of nature. I love seeing sunrises and sunsets and smelling flowers, dunking my head in mountain streams, skinny dipping in mountain lakes. I love setting and accomplishing goals, and if you set goals high enough, perhaps you don't always reach those goals, so it's important to enjoy the process along the way. It's important to enjoy the process of getting and of trying to attain those goals, and I love this quote, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Ego, what about ego? We all have ego, and what is it about ego? Ego, I believe, can be helpful or harmful. I think ego can be harmful when our worldview is all about ourselves, and all we do is tell our friends about us. I think our ego can be helpful when we share our experiences with others, but we also listen to others and enjoy and take in their stoke as well. Brief pause. I think enough is said here. I've contributed a fair bit to the bank accounts of Mr. Gary Fish and Ben and Jerry over the years. We all have challenges in our lives, and we all go through challenging times, and sometimes it's good to go out in the mountains and blow off a little bit of steam. So I've yet to find many problems that I can't solve in a full day out in the mountains adventuring. And spending quality time with friends is another reason why I love to be out in the mountains. Climbing and skiing from the summit of Mount Rainier is fun, but doing it with 5 close friends is a memorable and long-lasting experience. And when I lose dear friends to the mountains, it really makes me question why I do these things. So why do you do the things that you do? Confucius said, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. This is a little bit more of a competitive quote, and the last quote, a little bit more of a Zen quote. John Muir said, climb the mountains and get the good tidings. Nature's peace will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. The winds will blow their own freshness into you, and the storms their energy while cares will drop off like autumn leaves. Thank you.